The forbidden line. There were borders in the galaxy that no one questioned. Sectors carved by empires, trade routes fiercely guarded, nebulae claimed by fleets too vast to challenge. But among them all, one border was whispered about with reverence and fear: human space. For decades after the Terran Wars, no alien dared breach it. Humanity had fought too hard, bled too much, and carved out their domain with fire and iron. The boundary was a line of silence, a frontier glowing faintly in maps, marked not with treaties but with warnings. Until one alien ignored the silence. Admiral Kethar of the Dravari Dominion believed the myths exaggerated. He had crushed rebellions, burned colonies, and left fleets adrift in his wake. To him, humanity's quiet was not a strength, it was weakness. They hide behind walls of fear, he told his war council. I will pierce them and return with proof that Earth is nothing but a husk of an empire. And so his fleet of crimson warships crossed into forbidden stars. Ashes of a colony. The target was simple: Reeton 5, a mining colony orbiting a dying red sun. Home to 40,000 humans, barely defended, with a token militia fleet of outdated corvettes. Kethar struck without hesitation. The colony burned within hours. Ore refineries ruptured, turning the skies into sheets of flame. Civilian transports tried to flee, only to be hunted like prey, lasers stitching fire across their hulls cracking open like eggs. Families suffocated in silence as the void swallowed them whole. Kethar ordered the militia fleet broadcast live across Dominion channels. Humanity's small defense force, those corvettes, battered and obsolete, stood their ground, refusing surrender. One by one they were reduced to drifting husks. When the last militia ship exploded, Kethar laughed. His fleet recorded every moment, every scream, every shattered hull. He transmitted the footage across the galactic net with a single taunt. So this is the terror of humanity. This is the silence you all fear. I crossed their border and found only ashes. Humanity is finished. The mockery of Earth. The galaxy held its breath. For a moment it seemed Kethar was right. Earth did not respond. The human fleets remained silent. The stars along the border flickered with no movement. Alien empires erupted in debate. Some laughed. Finally, the humans were revealed as fragile. Others urged caution, reminding that humanity's vengeance, once awakened, had shattered empires before. But Kethar pressed harder. He paraded human prisoners through his Dominion capitals, forcing them to bow before alien crowds. He broadcast speeches. They are relics of a forgotten war. Their fleets are myths. Their silence is proof of weakness. No one should fear Earth again. The galaxy listened. Many wanted to believe him, but deep down dread lingered, because silence is never weakness. Silence is waiting. The first signal. It began faintly. A pulse in the dark, encrypted Terran code spreading across deep space channels. Few recognized it, fewer understood, but those who did felt their blood turn cold. It was Recall Protocol 7E, a signal humanity had not used in over a century. It meant one thing: vengeance. Kethar's fleet dismissed it as desperate propaganda. He doubled down, mocking the signal as ghost stories. His broadcasts grew more arrogant, his parades crueler. But along the frontier, alien scouts reported strange sightings. Massive shadows drifting through nebulae, eclipsing stars. Fleets moving without transponders, silent and black, yet vast beyond measure. Civilizations near the border began evacuating trade routes. Merchants refused to pass through. The silence grew heavier. The silence breaks. And then the silence shattered. At the edge of the Dravari Dominion, a single human dreadnought emerged. Its hull was blackened steel, its engines glowing with cold fury. No insignia, no name, only the flag of Earth burned across its prow. The ship transmitted a single phrase across every channel, repeated in every known language. You crossed into human space. You slaughtered our kin. Now the debt will be paid. Then the stars themselves seemed to move. Dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of human warships erupted from hyperspace. They did not announce themselves with pomp or ceremony. They arrived like a storm, silent, inevitable, endless. The Dominion's frontier fleets scrambled to respond. They opened fire with everything they had. But humanity's vengeance was no ordinary retaliation. Fire that consumed suns. The first wave of human dreadnoughts unleashed annihilation. Particle lances cut through Dominion cruisers as though they were paper. Planetary defense grids were silenced before their operators could finish calling for aid. Troop carriers, black as obsidian, descended on worlds like falling meteors, disgorging armored legions who fought with machine-like precision. The Dravari war machine, once feared, collapsed in days. Kethar's propaganda broadcasts vanished, replaced by silence, then by desperate pleas. Dominion worlds screamed for aid, but none came. No empire dared interfere. The galaxy watched as human fleets advanced system by system, methodical, merciless. Entire star systems vanished under coordinated bombardments. Skies turned to fire, oceans boiled, fortresses crumbled into glass. Humanity did not rage with fury. They moved with cold purpose, every strike deliberate, every annihilation precise. The message was clear: this was not war, this was judgment. The fall of Kethar. Admiral Kethar, once the arrogant challenger, found himself cornered at the Dominion's capital. His proud fleet of crimson warships, once symbols of dominance, now floated wrecked and burning across his skis. He transmitted a desperate message across the galaxy. Humanity, it was arrogance, not hatred, spare us. We will withdraw, we will kneel, we will. But his plea was met with silence. On the capital's horizon, the shadow of Earth's flagship appeared, 10 kilometers of armored fury, a ship so vast it blotted out the sun. Its cannons aligned with the Dominion's palace. A single volley reduced centuries of empire to rubble. Kethar's palace, his fleets, his arrogance, burned away in less than a second. And then silence returned. The aftermath. The galaxy trembled. For generations, alien races would whisper about what they had seen. The silence of Earth was no weakness, it was patience. Humanity had waited, endured, restrained itself. But when the line was crossed, when their kin were slaughtered, they responded with a vengeance so absolute it seemed biblical. Entire dominions fell silent. Borders realigned overnight. Trade routes bent around human space like rivers avoiding a chasm. No empire dared test them again. Among survivors of the Dominion, one phrase spread like a curse, whispered in terror from world to world. Never provoke Earth again. The lesson of silence. In the centuries that followed, maps of the galaxy still marked human space with a border of silence. No one crossed it. No scout ships probed it. No merchants risked trespass. The silence remained, but now the galaxy knew what it meant. Silence meant patience. Silence meant restraint. Silence meant humanity was watching. And if the silence ever broke again, the stars themselves would burn.